Easter Stories with Jolly. These stories are for lower elementary, kindergarten through second grade. Today's story is Pilate washes his hands, and our verse is, Then delivered he him, therefore, unto them to be crucified. John 19:16. Pilate washes his hands. The day after Jesus had been arrested by the Sanhedrin, he was taken to Pilate, the governor of Jerusalem. Pilate didn't think Jesus should be killed for his crimes. He could tell the priests and elders were just jealous of Jesus' following. Pilate sent Jesus to another governor for sentencing because the Sanhedrin said he had been causing trouble in Galilee. Pilate was not the governor in Galilee. He would let that governor decide what to do. The governor in Galilee thought Jesus was innocent. He didn't want to decide either. He sent Jesus back to Pilate. When Jesus, the guards, and the members of the Sanhedrin arrived back at Pilate's house, Pilate told them that he couldn't find anything Jesus had done wrong. The members of the Sanhedrin became so angry that they threatened to go all the way to Caesar if Pilate didn't put Jesus to death. Pilate didn't want them to go to Caesar because then it would look like he wasn't doing his job. Pilate offered to have Jesus beaten. He thought that maybe that would be enough to make them happy, and then he wouldn't have to kill Jesus. He took Jesus into a hallway. The guards stripped him of his clothes and put a fancy robe on him. Then they put a crown on his head that was made of thorns. They pushed it down into his skin, and Jesus began to bleed. They gave him a reed to hold, and then they started to bow down to him. They were mocking him. They were not worshiping Jesus at all. Then they took the reed and they hit him over the head with it. Then they started to spit on him and whip him. They beat him very bad. And then they put his regular clothes back on him and took him back out in front of Pilate and the members of the Sanhedrin. After seeing Jesus had been beaten and broken, the members of the Sanhedrin didn't change their minds. They still wanted to see him killed. Pilate's plan had not worked. Pilate had one last idea. It was a tradition that one prisoner would be released during the Passover. Pilate announced to the people that they could decide who would be released. He stood Jesus in front of them, along with another prisoner named Barabbas. Barabbas was guilty of stealing and killing people. Pilate thought for sure the people would choose to let Jesus go. But Pilate was wrong. The people shouted to let Barabbas go and crucify Jesus. Pilate had no choice but to do what the people said and to let Barabbas go. Just then, Pilate's wife came up to him and begged him not to kill Jesus. She had been having horrible dreams all day of what would happen if he killed Jesus. Pilate knew it was wrong. His wife knew it was wrong, but he didn't know what else to do. Pilate stood in front of the crowd and washed his hands. He said, "I find no fault in this man. His blood will be on your hands. My hands are clean of this." Then he gave Jesus over to the crowd for him to be crucified. The guards placed a cross on his back for him to carry to the place where he would die. Jesus was so weak from the beatings, he could not even carry his cross. They grabbed a man from the crowd named Simon and made him carry it for him. Then they led Jesus to a place called Golgotha to be crucified. Who did the Sanhedrin say they would talk to if Pilate didn't kill Jesus? Caesar! What did Pilate have the guards do to Jesus, thinking it would make the Sanhedrin happy? Beat him. What did the guards put on Jesus to wear? A robe and a crown of thorns. What did the guards do to Jesus? Hit him, spit on him, whipped him, and mocked him. After the Sanhedrin saw Jesus had been beaten, did it change their minds about wanting to kill him? Pilate offered to release one prisoner. Who did the crowd choose to release? Barabbas. Who had been having bad dreams about Jesus? Pilate's wife. What did Pilate do in front of the crowd before he handed Jesus over to them to be crucified? Washed his hands. Printing practice with our letters of the day. P is for Pilate. R is for robe. C is for crown. Activity number 1, down by 1. Pilate told the crowd he would release one of the prisoners. He let them decide whether he should let Jesus or Barabbas go. Count the items in each group. How many would you have if you let one go? Write that number in the box. Okay, our first row, we have butterflies. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3. We're going to take one away. Now how many do we have? We have 2. Okay, let's look at the fish. How many fish do we have? If we let one go, now how many do we have? We have 0. Now let's count our frogs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we let one frog go, how many frogs will be left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We would have 7 frogs left. Okay, on to the birds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 birds. If we let one of them go, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's count our mice. We have 1, 2 mice. If we let one go, we only have 1 mouse left. Our turtles, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 turtles. If we let one go, then how many are left? 3 turtles. Now let's count our sheep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 sheep. If we let one go, how many do we have? 6. Okay, last one. We're counting our crabs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we let one go, how many are left? 4 crabs. Good job, guys. Cursive practice. P is for Pilate. R is for robe. C is for crown. Now we're going to do our word search. We're going to look for these important words in the puzzle. Our first word is crucify. Why would crucify be an important word with our story today? Because the crowd wanted to crucify Jesus. We're going to see if we can find crucify in our word search. Oh, it's over here on the side. Do you see it? C-R-U-C-I-F-Y. Crucify. Okay, we're going to mark that one off because we found it. Our next word is Pilate. Pilate is an important word in our story because he was the governor. He washed his hands and he thought Jesus was innocent. Jesus was innocent. He was right. Where is Pilate? Can you find Pilate in our puzzle? I think I see it. It's close to the top. Pilate. All right, we marked that one off of our list. The next word is thorns. Why would thorns be important? Because they placed a crown of thorns on Jesus' head. That was a very sad thing. Let's see if we can find the word thorns in our puzzle. Right here in the middle, Thorns. Now we're going to mark off the word thorns. Our next word is wife. Pilate's wife was having bad dreams about what was going on with Jesus. Can we find the word wife? It's very close to thorns, right here in the middle. W-I-F-E spells wife. Okay, we're going to mark that one off. Next, we have Jesus. Jesus is the most important word in all of our lessons. Where is the word Jesus? On the bottom. Do you see it on the bottom? J-E-S-U-S. Mark off the word Jesus. Next, we have hands. Why might those be important? Because Pilate washed his hands. He knew that Jesus was innocent, so he washed his hands of that. Where is the word hands? On the side, H-A-N-D-S. Hands. And we'll mark off hands. Next, we have cross. At the end of our lesson, they made Jesus carry his cross, but it was too heavy. So they found Simon to carry it for him. Where is the word cross? Oh, it's in the middle. C-R-O-S-S. Cross. Now we're going to cross out the word cross. Okay, and our last word is beat. Pilate had Jesus beaten, and then he thought the Sanhedrin would be okay with that, but they were not. They still wanted to kill him. Let's see if we can find the word beat. B-E-A-T-E right here. And we're going to mark off the word beat. Good job, guys. Now it's time to think about it. Majority rules. Have you ever heard anyone say that? Majority rules is when a group gets to vote. Whatever most of the people think should happen will happen. This is what Pilate did. He let the majority of the people decide what happened to Jesus. Sometimes when people vote on something, the majority of the people are right. Sometimes they are wrong. In this case, the majority of people were wrong. Jesus was not guilty. He did not need to be punished because he broke the laws. But God knew the people would vote against Jesus, so their vote didn't change God's plan. God's plan included their vote, so everything happened exactly like it was supposed to. Sometimes the majority of the people will make a choice that seems like it's the wrong choice, but we need to trust God to take care of things. Not even majority rules can mess up God's plans. It's almost time to go, but before we do, we're going to pray about it. Dear God, thank you for this lesson. Even though it was a hard one to think about, the things that happened to Jesus in this story were scary and mean, and sometimes that's hard to think about. Please help us to realize that going through those bad, scary things was part of your plan. Sometimes your plan includes things that we think are bad and scary, but you know that they are important. Please help us to trust you and your plan for our lives. Please help us to be brave and strong while we're trusting you, just like Jesus did. Thank you so much for Jesus. Thank you for sending him to do the job you had for him to do. Please help us to always remember to keep reading and learning about Jesus and your plan. Help us to understand that his great suffering was because of his great love for us. Please help us to feel that great love when we keep learning the rest of your plan for Jesus. Please help us to feel your great love as we keep learning the rest of your plans for our lives, especially in the hard, scary times. In Jesus' name, amen. Well, that's it for today. If you'd like to find more Jesus Stories with Jolly, or even a printable version of this lesson, feel free to look for us on Teachers Pay Teachers, JesusStoriesWithJolly.com, or you can find Jesus Stories with Jolly books on Amazon. Until next time, Jolly loves you.